So welcome to Friday's CoffeeCast, and today is a very cheery topic, something that is immeasurably life-affirming. You are going to die. Now, I don't say that to be flippant or to be a dick. I say it because even though I am certain you have come across this idea in so many different places, whether it's that Steve Jobs speech, one of my kind of favorite business folks at the moment, a guy called Alex Hormozy, talks about, connecting in with knowing he's going to die as a way of reliving. But however you've come across it, the chances are that you nodded along. If you're anything like me, you went, yeah, what a great idea. Yeah, like connecting with the idea that I'm going to die so that I really live. Yeah. Whoa. Hold. Pause. It could be tomorrow that you are no longer breathing upon this planet. And so today, what does that mean for you? Genuine, you're here listening to this, and thank you. So in that moment then, acknowledging that of all the 8 billion people upon this planet, that you and I paused here for a moment today to acknowledge you and I, are going to die. And there's a few things that I'm going to share by way of fleshing out this CoffeeCast. And I've spent a little bit of time feeling into this. And unless I also give myself permission to dream long term, then actually for me, I found that this idea that I'm going to die isn't very helpful. Because if I could die tomorrow, then what's the point of doing anything today? I might as well just, go and I've got no interest in getting drunk or anything like that. But do you know what I mean? Like actually it takes away meaning. It doesn't provide this day for me with more meaning, knowing that I could die tomorrow. However, when I add in some caveats that work for me, then it's really powerful. So for me, the phrase I've been using is plan for tomorrow and 10, and then come into the only when that matters. The now, right? So the idea being that actually, if I could die tomorrow, then let me make sure that I don't pass up the opportunity for small joys today. And equally, let me plan for the next decade, a decade full of life and joy and substance and meaning and impact. And then I let go of both tomorrow and the next decade, and I come here right now into this moment when I take a step towards the most loving experience of life that I am capable of. So plan for tomorrow and 10, and then step into the only when that matters, the loving heart of this moment. So that is one thing that's worked for me, is actually to kind of play with this notion of that I am going to die and to adapt it for my own ends. Okay. And then the second thing that I wanted to share on this idea of you are going to die, we are going to die, is to consider a different perspective. Because so many ancient wisdom traditions will speak about the immortality of the soul, of the spirit, that our consciousness does survive the passing of this physical body, right? So if that was the case, how might that change your outlook on living? To know that perhaps you were just passing through, that this life on Earth in human clothes is like pausing at a train station and getting to look around all the shops and, spend some time in the cafes, and then you get back on the train. Or perhaps that this Earth is a classroom you have visited for this period called a lifetime, to learn certain soul lessons, and then after you've learned those lessons, and maybe that's what reincarnation is about, coming back until you've learned the lessons that classroom Earth has to teach. And then you go to another classroom. Who knows? That's way beyond the scope of my knowing. However, I have certainly found this idea of classroom Earth to be of value as well. And I think there is a really solid amount of evidence out there for both the sustaining of consciousness after physical death, in things like near-death experiences, and equally there is some really solid evidence out there for reincarnation in some form. I think there's a book where there's like 100 different cases of children coming back and remembering their previous lives and going and visiting. I think there's this one of this girl in Scotland who went back to India and visited this like super remote Indian village and walked straight up to the house she used to live in and said, "In here will be my grandfather and my father," and she was able to point them out without anyone else pointing them out to her. So, instances like that certainly give some food for thought on this idea of what really is death. And so I share all of these as a way of inviting you today, it being Friday. And sometimes we try and share things a bit more light-hearted on a Friday. Well, today I hope that is the case too. That even though we are engaging with the topic of death, my hope is that this CoffeeCast has been a profound invitation to live. All right. I'll see you on Monday.